Welcome to Action Coaching. We're certainly delighted that you join us on today because I believe that God has a special coaching word for you. Now remember, the goal of Action Coaching is to coach your God-given ability out of you so that you can experience and live your best life now. I believe that everyone in life needs a coach. Yes, none of us make it by ourselves. There's always somebody that have went the way before us so that they can turn around and coach those of us that are coming along the same way so that we can do it even better than they did it. So we're excited about Action Coaching. Now we want to encourage you that if you on Facebook, hit share, and YouTube, hit subscribe. So let other people know that Action Coaching is on the air and that they too can learn some important tips as to how to achieve the things that God have already given you. It is not the desire of Action Coaching to try to tell you what to do in your life. It's whatever you have decided to do, we want to give you tips, coaching tips, so that you can do it better. Because after all, each of us have to work with our own gifts and talents. So that's why you need a coach in your life. Now this week, I want to talk about the center of attention. Let me say that one more time. The center of attention. Now, chances are that whatever you spend most of your time on in a day is the center of your attention. Whether it's being on social media all day, whether it's running with your friends, whether it's just simply I'm going to sleep all day, whatever you spend the majority of your time in is the center of your attention. The question came up that I was explaining to a person that was younger than I am, but they were coming along the way too. And the question was, how do dreams and visions come to pass? Well, the first place is, in order for a dream and a vision to come to pass, it's got to be the center of attention. You cannot have a dream and a vision and you got 4 or 5 other dreams and visions. You got to do the one thing first. And after you do the one thing first, then you'll be able to branch out in other things. A lot of people try so many things at one time, they don't succeed at anything. Think about it, even if you look at a corporation like Apple. Well, it was first known for, whether it was its computers or the iPhone, the issue was that the one thing that they made good allowed them to move off into other things, but the main thing became the focus of their attention. And if you want a dream or vision to come to pass in this day and time, it's got to have the focus of your attention. It's got to be something that you don't just think about every now and then. You got to be consumed with it. You got to wake up each and every day deciding how you're going to improve what you are focusing on. I don't want to go in a restaurant where there's supposed to be an excellent chef, and the chef is telling us, well, I didn't have time to focus on my food because I was trying to learn how to drive trucks. Well, now, obvious, one of the others going to suffer because wherever he put his attention at, then there's going to be a lapse in his other profession. I didn't say that a chef couldn't cook and drive trucks too, but I'm saying whichever one he put most of his attention on, chances are that's going to be the one that pays him the most, and he's going to be very good at that. We live in a society where people, yes, I know you can do multiple things at once, but you cannot be multiple things at once. Let me say that again. You can do multiple things at once, but you cannot be multiple things at once. So many people are, well, maybe they spend time, they want to focus. So if you got a job, if you're going to be good at your job, you got to focus on it. But whatever is the center of your attention, that is likely what you are going to be successful at, and it will supply your needs. The issue is that so many of us try multiple things, and chances are we can be good at a lot of things, but you can only be great at one thing. And it's the being great at one thing that people don't concentrate on. It should take your ultimate attention. If you have people that are in these high professional fields, whether it's a doctor, lawyer, or whatever, they had to go through many years of school, focus on one thing, being a doctor, and getting the necessary degrees and certifications that they needed to be a doctor. Now somebody said, well, they played soccer while they was trying to be a doctor. Well, I'm going to ask you, which one are they working today? Usually the one that they spent most of their time on. That was the center of their attention. I have learned that if dreams and visions are going to come to pass, they have to be the center of your attention. There is no other way around it. And when something is not the center of your attention, a lot of times you get caught up into all of these side things that will distract you and keep you from becoming successful. But you got to stay focused. When I started the ministry, people asked, well, how did you avoid certain things? Or you didn't feel like you had to do this? I had to be focused. I had to be focused on that one thing. Being focused didn't allow me to run with my group of friends. It didn't allow me to spend a whole lot of time in other different functions. Because if I was going to be successful at this one thing, I had to be focused. Now I know you have people that know a little bit about everything, and they will consistently let you know they know a little bit about everything. But a little bit about everything does not make you a professional at one thing. I never heard of professionals at a little bit of everything, but I've heard of professionals that spend most of the time focused on their craft. If you see a great athlete, superstar athlete, if you hear their story, one thing they all say is, I spent all my time working on my craft. And as a result of me spending all my time working on my craft, when the amazing thing about when you're working on your craft, there's no audience there. There's nobody to see you becoming you. But however, when you get in public, the work that you spent working on your craft will show the world that you've done something different. And that's why they can call you a professional. So the question is today, what are you spending most of your time on? What is the center of your attention? What is it that robs you of valuable time every day? Now, I'm going to give you some questions to ask yourself about what you're focusing on. First of all, are you focusing on something that can ultimately provide for you? Well, if you're going to focus on it, it needs to provide for you. You don't need to spend a great deal of time focusing on something that's not going to provide for you. Because if you're spending all this time, it needs to provide for you. I can spend time saying I'm going to all of the different sports venues that happen every season. Now, it might be good for the people that own the venue and the athletes that are watching it, but it ain't paying me unless I'm a part of playing the game. So I'm not going to let that be the focus of my attention. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you.
Without commitment, you'll never start, but more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. Keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Welcome back. I left off talking about how that if I went to all the sporting events, it would be good for the event that is held at and the athletes that I'm actually watching to play, but it won't feed me. So I've got to focus my attention on what will supply my needs. And if you don't focus on that, you will always suffer lack. You know, you got a whole lot of people that'll spend a great deal of time and they don't get any financial benefit from it. They don't even get any benefits at all. Bottom line, it just come to take up time. I don't even like to be on the phone all day with people that if they're not informing me and empowering me, I don't have no time for all of the other normal chit chat that people do. Talk about somebody else in another state or who is weather, all of that. I want somebody that's empowering me to stay focused on what I believe ultimately is going to make me successful. I don't have time to spend time with people that's going to take me away from my goal, take me away from what I need to spend my time on. Are you that person that you spend your time wasting a whole lot of time? I remember early in the ministry when people used to, at that particular time, want counseling about one situation or another. I don't know if you have experienced it, but you can get on the phone and you can be talking to somebody and they have no intention of doing any of the advice that you're giving them. They'll have you there for an hour or 2 hours debating the advice you trying to give them. I found out that's a waste of time. That's a waste not only of my time, it's a waste of their time. If you call for counseling and you already got the answer, then why even call? Just stay focused on the answer you believe that you have come up with. Because the key to success, the key to dreams coming true is you've got to stay focused. You got to understand whatever is the center of my attention, that is the thing that's going to take care of me. And you can never be successful until you learn how to focus on that one thing. Now, after you focus on one thing and you're successful at that, yeah, you'll have the ability to endeavor in other things. But at the end of the day, you need not get too far away from the main thing. What makes you you? What keeps you focused? What takes up most of your time? And that is where you ought to spend all your energy and all your time in, so that your dreams and visions can come to pass. You probably need to reach out to me via social media. Say, yes, Bishop, I've been focusing on the wrong thing. So I want you to pray that I get my focus straight. I've been spending my attention on a whole lot of stuff, and I've not been spending my attention on the right thing. Say, for instance, I was talking to a guy one time, and he didn't have any financial resources. So he spent all his time talking about somebody else ought to help him with what he's supposed to do. Ain't nobody else. They got all that money, and they won't give me a thing. And then his conversation, every time you talk to him, is about somebody else that got money ought to give me this so I can move on down the road. And finally I said to him, rather than focusing on what everybody else ought to give you, you need to focus on how you can achieve what you need. You need to put your attention on, if it's your dream, if it's your vision, then you need to put your attention on it, and you need to operate everything you can to make sure it comes to pass. You getting focused on the wrong thing. You're trying to blame other people. Isn't it amazing when people say they want different things and get angry when you tell them what they need to focus on? I mean, why go to a weight loss clinic if you ain't focused enough to lose the weight that you want to lose? I mean, after all, if it's going to take your attention, then don't spend your money on something you're not willing to do yet. But stay focused on the main thing. What is the center of your attention? And that's what I'm talking about on this week. Center yourself. Use your gift. Work on it. Because if you consistently focus on something, trust me, you get better and better at it every day. And as a result of that, you will be in demand. When God gave me the vision of word in action, I would get up every day. I ain't need an alarm clock. I ain't need nobody to call me and wake me up. But I made up my mind that if I was going to get the message out to people, I could not wait for the people to come to me. I had to go to where the people were. And I stayed focused. I let nothing stop me from every single day waking up the same time, going downtown into what was called 5 Points then. It's not the 5 Points that we have today. It's a little more fancy, a little more nicer, but the 5 Points they call it then. Every day I go down there focusing on one thing, telling people that God wants them to put the word in action. I didn't tell them that they need to put down their alcoholic beverages or they need to do this and that. I wanted to stay focused on one thing because I believe if they put the word in action, all the other stuff will take care of itself. How many times in life have you got caught up in all the other stuff and ain't focused on the main thing? Whether it's your child, whether it's your husband, whether it's your spouse, or whatever. You can just become so caught up in all the other stuff that ain't important at this particular moment and lose focus on the main thing. What is the center of your attention? What is drawing you away from the main thing on today? You need to make up in your mind in 2022. I'm going to determine what's going to have all my attention. And I can assure you that if you work on that, you're going to watch great things happen for you. Just as I went down every single day and told people to put the word in action, guess what? Slowly but surely, people start stopping and say, how do I put the word in action? And I showed them how to focus on word in action. What do you mean? Simple term. The word won't work unless you put it in action. So you need to focus on, if I'm going to hear something, I need to act upon it. And I need to act upon it consistently so that it can continue to work in my life. It needs to be a priority. It needs to be the main thing if you are going to succeed. What is the center of your attention on today? I could come in your house. Not that I'm inviting myself in your house, but I'm simply saying I can come in your house and tell in a few minutes what's important to you in that house. I can tell you what's the center of your attention in just a few moments, because whatever is the center of your attention is going to stand out. It's going to be important to you. And that's how you're going to achieve all these dreams and visions that God is speaking to us on today. What is the center of your attention? And if you're going to give time to it, then it might as well benefit you. And I found out that when you focus on the right thing, when your center of attention is the right thing, good things always happen. So write down and say, this is going to be the center of my attention every day. Write down your priority list. You want to have a good marriage, then it got to be the center of your attention. If you want to raise good kids, then they got to be the center of your attention. You can't raise them half the day and half the day you leave them off to their own discretion. You got to make it an important part of your focus. If you want to succeed in anything, make it the center of your attraction. And in other words, make it your sole focus, and you will reap the benefits of it. I believe that these coaching tips have blessed you on today, and certainly reach out to me and let me know if you want me to expand this or how blessed you were at hearing this on today. I'll be right back to talk to you.
Tap somebody and say, I'm made for miracles. You know why God allowed things to happen to you? He want to teach you that there are about 5 people got it. He want to teach you that there are. So whatever the devil knock you back with, God said now's the time to show it. That he can't keep me there. Y'all ain't talking. Now is the time to let the devil know. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world.
I've certainly enjoyed talking to you on today, right here on Coaching. I trust that some of the coaching tips that I've offered you have been a blessing to you and kind of opened up your revelation as to what needs to be the center of your attention, what you need to focus on so that you can be successful. Because we got so many people in the world that are out of focus, they ain't going to achieve anything good because they running from here to there trying to focus on different things and they're not mastering that one thing. And so I trust that it's been a blessing to you. I certainly want to encourage you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching. We want to continue to make Action Coaching bigger and better and do some more creative things, but we need your financial support. So I'd love for you to sit down and sow a generous seed on today for Action Coaching so that we can continue to do what the Lord has called us to do. I believe the Lord is going to bless you richly as a result of the seeds you sown to Action Coaching on today. There's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to sow to Action Coaching, and we would love to hear from you. Thank you for your financial support. Thank you for partnering with Action Coaching. I believe that God is going to do the same thing in your life as you partner with the mission of Action Coaching. Well, the Lord bless you. I've certainly enjoyed talking to you. And as I do each and every week, I want to encourage you. Share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.